Welcome back. Today I want to share the personal mistakes I've made on my own FIRE journey. Now, FIRE, financial independence, retire early, is exciting. The idea of walking away from mandatory work and living life on your own terms is powerful. But along the way, I realized that it's not just about saving and investing. The real journey includes lifestyle choices, mindset traps, and financial lessons that don't always show up on a spreadsheet. So today, I'm going to walk through 8 mistakes that really shape how I see FIRE. Some of these are embarrassing to admit, but they're real, and maybe by sharing them, I can help you avoid the same mistakes. I'll start with one that stings the most. There were times when I turned down family time because of work that wasn't even urgent. I'll tell myself, just let me finish this report first. Or, I need to reply to this email right now. The crazy thing, a week later, that work was forgotten. Nobody cared. But I had already missed a dinner or a chance to sit down with my parents, or a quiet evening with someone I love. Truth is, family and relationships are the whole reason I'm choosing FIRE in the first place. I wanted time with them, yet I was burning that time for things that didn't matter long term. That's a contradiction I had to face. The lesson I learned is that FIRE isn't just about leaving work one day in the future. It is also about remembering, right now, that time with family is more valuable than almost anything else. Cutting back too hard on social life. When I first got serious about FIRE, I was in full savings mode. I skipped gatherings, said no to dinners, avoided trips, and yes, my savings rate shot up. But after a while, I noticed I was seeing my friends less and less. People stopped inviting me because they assumed I wouldn't join. The scary part, I realized that I could actually hit my FIRE number one day, but wake up and find myself with no one to share that freedom with. So that's not independence, that's isolation. I had to relearn how to budget not just for food, but for connection. A meal with friends, a coffee catch up, a short trip with family. Those are investments too. They don't show up on a spreadsheet, but they pay huge dividends in happiness. The lesson learned is that money is renewable. Relationships are not. Cutting too much here is a false saving. Let's talk about frugality because I overdid in this department as well. In the early days, I was obsessed with reducing every expense possible. If I could avoid paying, I would. I'll spend an entire afternoon fixing things at home, even risky stuff like electrical sockets, just to avoid calling a professional. I'll deep clean the house until I was exhausted, instead of just hiring a cleaner once in a while. I forced myself to take 2 buses instead of a cab, even when I was drained from work. What did I save? A few dollars. But what did I lose? Hours of energy, peace of mind, and sometimes even my safety. So that's when I realized being frugal doesn't mean suffering. And there's a big difference between being mindful with money and being cheap with your own well-being. Sometimes spending actually gives me more freedom. Freedom of time, freedom from stress, and freedom from mistakes. So the lesson learned is that FIRE is not just about punishing myself. It is actually more about creating a life with choices. And sometimes that choice includes spending to save time and sanity. I became obsessed with spreadsheets. I tracked my net worth daily. I updated my FIRE calculator every time the market moved. When stocks dipped, I panicked. When it rose, I felt euphoric. My mood was directly tied to numbers on the screen. But that's actually not freedom. That's another form of slavery. I thought money would buy me peace of mind, but instead, I was giving my peace away to every market fluctuation. Over time, I had to learn to step back. Yes, I still track my finances, but I don't let it consume me. I remind myself that FIRE is not about chasing the highest net worth. It's really about building a life that feels whole. So the lesson learned is that numbers are a tool, not the destination. If you let them control my emotions, I'll never feel free no matter how much I save. Waiting for the perfect plan. I used to spend hours, even days, researching what's the perfect asset allocation, what's the safest withdrawal rate, should I wait for the market to dip before I invest? I wanted everything lined up before I took action. And while I was busy analyzing, time kept moving, the markets didn't wait, compounding didn't wait. Meanwhile, people who just started investing was already learning while I was still reading articles and second guessing myself. Eventually, I realized perfection doesn't exist. FIRE is not a math equation you solve once and for all. It's a journey where I learn and adapt. The real risk is doing nothing at all. So lesson learned. Action sometimes beats endless planning. Start small, learn, adjust. Don't let the fear of imperfection keep myself stuck. Investment linked policy. At the time, it sounded perfect. Insurance plus investing all in one. I thought I was being smart, but later I learned the hard way. IOPs usually come with high fees, limited investment choices, and underwhelming returns. By the time I figured it out, I really sunk money into it. I felt stuck. Do I keep paying, or do I cut my losses? That decision hurt, but it taught me a valuable lesson. So I learned that to keep insurance and investment separate. Term insurance will give me protection, while low cost net funds will help to build wealth. Mixing them just complicate things and drain returns. Finally, let's talk about investing emotions. I've held to losing stocks for way too long. Instead of everything was wrong, I told myself it will bounce back. I refused to sell because selling meant facing the loss. But in reality, I was letting my money sit there doing nothing, where it could have been invested in better opportunities. So that's the sunk cost fallacy at work, and it's powerful. But the longer I held, the more I realized I was clinging to ego, not strategy. So lesson learned, be willing to cut losses. It's painful in the moment, but it's healthier for the portfolio long term. Discipline matters more than pride. At first, I thought it was simple. Save as much as possible, hit a number, retire early. But as I dug deeper, I saw that FIRE comes in many flavors. Lean FIRE, Fat FIRE, Barista FIRE, Coast FIRE. And I haven't decided which one fits my life. That left me chasing a moving target. 1 month I thought, okay, I just need X amount. And then I read something new and think, no, maybe I needed more. It felt endless. Worse, I realized I haven't asked myself, what will I actually do after I reach FIRE? What does my life look like when I don't have a job title? That question shocked me because so much of my identity was tied to work. Lesson learned, FIRE is not just about escaping work, but it's more about moving towards a life I actually wanted. So if I cannot define that life, reaching the number won't feel like victory, but it will create confusion. Looking back, most of them weren't really about money. They were about balance, mindset, and clarity. I had to learn that FIRE isn't just a spreadsheet game.